All right. Mic check, mic check. Mortal Masters Podcast. Your host, Main, of course. We are back. 2023. This is the first Thinking Out Loud. This is actually number 50, if I'm not mistaken. So, shout out to everybody who's been rocking with us since number 1. All right. Number 50 right here. I want to do something special, but I thought about it, and the more I thought about it, the more I lingered and waited, and I just felt like, I don't know, Thinking Out Loud is, it means a lot to me. As much as it means to put it out, I want it to be right, and I want to do it because it helps me with my mental. So that's why it's just gonna be regular. But first of all, I want to thank all the listeners, supporters, everybody who showed love all last year, all last episode. Definitely week in, week out, showing me amazing amount of support. Last episode I put a snippet out on my personal page, and it did really well. Considering, and it was Kayla Anthony last episode, so go check that out. She's a real estate agent, realtor. I know her for a while. My sister's best friend, actually, and one of the more successful realtors in the city of Augusta. But just her being a black woman and being from the city of Augusta, having her own story, I thought it'd be dope to get her on and get that story out there. Being 15, pregnant, doing it fairly alone, which a lot of black women can relate to. Maybe not the 15-year-old part, but there are some. But I thought that was dope just to, we like to talk about marathons and talk about things not being a race and things of that nature. I feel like her story, being 15, right? Think about that, being 15 and then getting pregnant. A lot of times you get written off. A lot of times, not only do you get written off, people around you write you off that y'all doing the same exact things, you just happen to get caught up. And then you have people's people, like, hey, look, don't be around this person, And I wanted to kind of illustrate that a little bit. Like, that's a tough thing when you're 15, People right now, like me, you, humans, like, we'll be 30 plus, and somebody don't support us or don't like our status or don't like our pictures or something like that, and you feel away. And sometimes somebody you don't even know, right? And imagine being 15, not a fully functioning brain, not knowing all of 15 years later, not going through experience that you're going to go through 15 years later. Imagine how a 15-year-old at that age feels, amongst feeling defeated because I got this situation. Not only that, the support I thought I had, the friends that I thought I had, I don't have those because of my decision and me willing to go through with, a particular process is now making those same supporters or friends or friends that I had have to stand back or stay away from me. So I thought that was good message to illustrate. I liked how she did it. I think she did a great job. Just overall dope vibe, man. And then her getting into real estate and being super successful. Like I said, she had a big house. Not saying that measures success, but and from our culture and what we do, we measure that as success a lot of times. Like, you got a big pool, you got a big backyard, you got how many bedrooms you got, what's the square footage of the house, do you own the house, are you renting, is it in the mortgage, those type of things we do use to measure success. And if you're one of those people that does that, she's definitely a great measurement of success, to say the least. So I thought that'd be dope. I wanted to start the year off with that. Me and her was in talk since early December, Matter of fact, I'll use this time to talk about that too. A lot of times when I do these episodes, sometimes they last minute. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes it's last minute, but I always have things in mind, people in mind for certain topics and episodes. So even if I hit somebody up on a Thursday, we link up on Friday. In my mind, I've been preparing for this for months, sometimes years. So with her, I have been thinking about it for the last 6 to 8 months. My sister been saying, get it on. I'm like, cause I don't mix business and all that. I don't like to do that, But me watching her, I'm like, damn, she kind of out there successfully and she doing her thing. And I'm like, damn, I know her story. It's dope. So I hit my sister. I told her, let's do it. About a couple months went by, Then finally in December, me and Kayla locked in and we talked. And I was like, look, I want you to be the first episode for the new year. I want to start the year off with you. And so that's what I did. So when I wasn't putting things out, it wasn't on purpose. It's just that I wanted to stand true to my commitment to having her be the first episode that I record and put out. So I didn't want to record other ones and put her out first. That's not the same. I wanted 2023, the first thing I record, to be her, So, and the last thing I recorded was my girl. So shout out to y'all for supporting that as well. So I know this year, there's some things I do want to do. And I want y'all input on anything that I'm saying. So I know I talked about wanting to, we always want to build your following, build your fan base, build your support. I want to expand on that outside of just only the Augusta area, hit up the Aiken area, the outskirts, the outskirt cities. So I am looking into doing things like that. So if you know somebody from, whether it's from Waynesboro, the Louisvilles, the Wrens, the Columbia County side, the Aiken side, the South Carolina side, like anything that's in, the 40, 50 mile radius, I want to hit all them areas. I want to expand out here. That's my plan. I want to do more events, I want to do a lot of things, but I obviously don't have the time, to do all those things, but I can dibble and dabble, and I can make a way to do these things. So I want y'all help with that, as far as like getting certain guests and getting certain people. Some of these areas I'm not from, so I don't know who the people to talk to. And one thing about More Than Masters that I like to tip my hat off on is that I don't always get the people that's just like super popular, that's super successful, that's known, that's out there. A lot of times my favorite episodes, my favorite podcasts to do is with someone who is just a regular person. Not to say that they lame or corny, I'm just just regular people. Like, they don't have no crazy reputation. They're just a regular person, and they have interest in story, interest in background, interest in life, interest in ideologies, interest in thoughts and concepts on certain things. Those are the people I like to talk to the most, and I think that's why I stand out so much, because I do get those people on. Even Kayla, you think about who just had on, super successful, not necessarily the most popular person in the world, but or in Augusta, for that matter, but at the same time, her story is interesting. People know of her, and it's very compelling, and that's my goal, to bring a lot of the compelling people stories to light, and I want to continue to do that, and that's something I tip my hat on. So whether it's in another city or another place, if I find it to be interesting, I want to do that. I got asked this question the other day, and I thought it was funny. It was like, it wasn't the right person that asked me this question though, but he goes, "Hey, why you don't have no white people on your show? Why it's all black people?" Saying mine just is a Hispanic dude. So, and I mean, I think of those things. I know that, right? But at the end of the day, I feel like, no disrespect to anybody, any race or any ethnicity, that's why I titled it More Than the Masters. The Masters isn't really a white sport, so to say. It's really a black sport, so to say. So when I say more than the Masters, I'm just saying it's more than this. People think Augusta. I want them to know this is a black area. There's a lot of black excellence in this area. So it's nothing personal or nothing necessarily racial to another race. It's just a lot of the things I'm around, a lot of the people I want to highlight, a lot of the things I feel like the city should be known for, I want to be known for, that I want to illustrate, happens to be people of my complexion, my color, my race. So that's why it's not like I'm going out there and deliberately not wanting to have white people on the show. I know a few interesting white people, but it gotta make sense too. It don't make sense to me to do person A, B, C, and then sprinkle some white sprinkles in there. That don't make sense, So it gotta make sense. But like I said, I am trying to, expand. So I do want to get into different races and ethnicities if I can. It's just a matter of it's a lot of preparation. Like, it's a lot of preparation that go into these episodes. At least for me, I can't speak for anybody else. Like, I know that right now, I know I've been talking about a lot about the battle of the sexes, and now I'm tired of seeing it and stuff like that. And in all seriousness, I don't care what somebody talk about. Like, I'm not the person that say you could talk about this, you can't talk about that. However, it is tiresome to see the same people talking about it day in, day out. But I understand it, because it's social media. So you do it for interaction, you do it for entertainment. So it may be entertaining to keep talking about those things to some people, and it may be the interaction piece for some people, and more power to anybody who's in that field. I've also seen that it's blossomed to some people having, whether it be talk shows. I see people going live talking about certain things, and now they're doing more things, and accept all power to them, all support. For me, I don't want to get caught up in that, because it's easy to get caught up in that. But it's a lane for that already, like in my opinion. And I feel like that's not a lane I want to jump into. So I kind of stay far from it on purpose. I will purposely like not engage in certain conversations because I don't want to get into that bag, because it's so easy to sit up here and I could just sit and just say women should, boom, and I can talk for 50 minutes probably. I'm not a woman, so of course anything that a woman does I can probably take problem to, and vice versa. Anything that a man does a woman can take problem to, and then you just speaking from a foreign place because I'm not a woman. So it's a foreign place for me to speak from a woman's perspective about how a woman should be. But aside from that, you know, what I will say about that though, I think the funniest thing about that, all that to me, and I'm not dissing nobody, I promise you, but the funniest thing about all that to me is that, you know, you sit here every day and you watch it on your timeline and you see the same people, you see them people, and they posting things. I feel like a lot of times it make a lot of sense, right? A lot of sense, even the comments, right? But here I see it's like, it's weird. It's almost like failing the open book test, because a lot of times I've seen like, well, if for 30, 40 days straight, you've been talking about this XYZ. And so you got the answers for XYZ every day. Y'all coming to some kind of common ground. You're getting the answers, this and third. And life not reflecting that. Like, you know, it's like, what's the point of talking about it? Like, life not reflecting nothing we talking about. You know, we finally find, okay, what makes a man happy? What makes a woman happy? Okay, what's this? Okay, what's that? And here we are still searching. And every day we just gonna post about it. You know, it's backwards to me though, but to each his own, man. Like, I'm not, I'm happy for anybody who want to talk about that, but it's entertaining, none the least. And I feel like that's a key component to a lot of things on social media. Some things are entertaining to some people. So where it's a lane for the type of content I like to make, it's also a lane for the type of content I don't like to make or don't want to be a part of. And I understand it's a lane for that. I joke a lot, so a lot of times just joking. I don't care if somebody talk about women or men for the rest of their life. I don't care. It's just, like I said, I'm going to just always state my opinion on things, because I feel like everybody got the right to their own opinion. I feel like it's just weird to wake up every day, 5 in the morning. Bitches ain't shit. It's kind of crazy. But, to each his own once again. This year, though, for me, in trying to just expand, I want to challenge myself with certain episodes and certain type of content, certain conversations. One thing I'm about to challenge myself with right now, I posted something earlier, and I'm gonna get into it in a second. I posted something earlier, and it went along the lines of black women are the worst supervisors or something like that. Something about that. Let me put my phone out real quick. I'll be having a damn phone right here, acting like I can't go to it. I posted it earlier today. I want to say it verbatim so I don't mess it up. Let's see. Okay, it says black women as supervisors are the worst experience, and I wanted to break that down. I don't believe in that, but I want to break that down in a deeper way. I don't think this is a thinking out loud piece. I think this is a piece where I actually have a black woman, maybe that has a good amount of experience in a supervisory role, so I can talk to them about some of the things. I think a lot of the comments were great, so I screenshotted those. I kept those. But I'm thinking about, one thing I've always wanted to do was do a documentary, right? My own documentary. So I had a very nice taste of it last year. I worked with Band of Sisters. Shout out to Band of Sisters. I worked with Band of Sisters on creating a documentary, and I shot a lot of it, right? So I had some experience in what a documentary is going to take, at least for me. Everybody got their own ideas for certain documentaries. I know for me, I had my own idea of how it supposed to look, how I wanted to feel. I got my own idea for that. And seeing her do, their own rendition of a documentary, which I thought was really dope, by the way, considering the time and everything that, it took to put into that. I said, okay, cool. So I like this part, okay, I might not like this part. I like that part. So it's little stuff like that I feel like, okay, all right, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. So I know a documentary take a long time. So I gotta have all the people in place that I want to talk to, all the questions in place I want to talk to. I gotta have like a outline of how I want the documentary to go, because it take a lot of editing, a lot of clips you got. So, but I do want to do a mini documentary on that. Some maybe 15, 20 minutes, something small on that particular piece where I interview a bunch of people, and then I kind of break it down, which I might end up doing, which I can do. If that's something you want to see, let me know. I don't know when I can put it out, how long it's going to take, but I will say this. I got goals, man. And I think that one thing I have to address is I got goals, and some goals aren't more than a master's driven, right? Because I don't only do this. This isn't my only thing. And I know that some people can't even relate to that, because you got people who they only do their thing. Like they entrepreneurs, they only in their business. They don't have no other business. They work for nobody. They have no job, nothing at all. I understand that, right? Here's the thing though, right? And for me and what I do, is a lot outside of this. It's a lot of time involved in that. I'm talking 60 to 70 hours per week, just given to that one thing that I do outside of this, right? I had a great year, so to say the least. Had a great year. With that comes more responsibility, comes more being put on your shoulders, comes more being but placed onto you. I don't really have time all the time, so I make the best of the time that I'm able to make the best of. If I got like 6 more hours in the day, I'm gonna divvy that up the best way I could divvy that up for anybody or for anything that I got going on in my life. That's including this podcast, my family, so my daughters, that's including any extracurricular activities. That's just peace to myself, sleep. These are all things I'm divvying up, you know what I'm saying, when I think about time that I'm managing. And also have goals. So that means that also some things are going to have to be a sacrifice. I'm going to sacrifice playtime sometimes to get this done. I'm going to sacrifice XYZ to make sure I make it to the studio, or sacrifice some studio time to make sure I make it to do this. I have to do that. You know, I have to balance that out. I don't like the fact that sometimes I know I go above and beyond for damn near any and everybody that I come across. I know that. I just know. And if somebody feel like I don't, you can always let me know. You feel like I don't, and tell me why, and give me a good reason why. Because when I combat that statement, I'm probably at that point have taken it personal already, because I know that I don't have time to waste or to spare a lot of time. So the time I do give, that's typically all I got. Like I'm gonna give you what I got. If I got 40 minutes to do something, I might even give you 60. And I do that because when I can't give you 40, I don't want nobody to complain that I couldn't give you that time, because when I only had 40, I gave you 60. You know what I'm saying? When I only had this amount of time, I gave you more than what I had, because I knew that there would be times where I couldn't give you nothing, because I sometimes don't have that time. And I think that I don't know, I've always been getting beat up about that, like I don't know how long now, but people got goals. And what I realized is that, you know, the trajectory I've been on for the past maybe 3-4 years, based on decisions I made to do and not to do, has reflected in where I'm at now. And I feel like I'm gonna continue to do what I've been doing, because so far to me, it don't like anything I've been doing been wrong. In the sense, not that I don't make no mistakes, I'm saying in the sense of making a decision to stop doing this in order to do that, and it got me here. Making a decision to be uncomfortable here for a little while, you finally get that down packed, and now they say, you know, boom, you're here. You know, it's all about elevation. I want to elevate. I want to elevate this year. I want the podcast to elevate, but I also want me, my personal life, to elevate. I want to do bigger and better things, right? And sometimes that takes dedication and sacrifice and other things. But I need to know that, you know, people that's around me, people that support me, people that love me, people that I support, that I love, that I'm always going to be willing to do everything for. You kind of want to know that those people are on your side, and that you sacrificing things isn't being looked at as you switching up, you acting different or acting funny or not being able to do this, that, and third. I want to make sure it's not looked at as that, because what somebody else might call switching up, to me, I might call I got busy. I might have got busy. Like, I'm already a busy person as it is. So if I'm naturally busy on a regular day, I'm super busy, right? Because of all I got going on. So when I'm telling you I'm busy for real, and I really do get busy, you can imagine if I'm already a busy person, I'm saying I'm busy. Like, for me to have to say that and label what I'm doing, my time, label my everything I'm doing at that moment as busy, that must mean I'm really busy. Like, I mean, I would think. So on a regular day, let's just say I wake up, 4 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, whatever. You get to work at 5. I'm working from 5 to 4, 5 to 5 most times. Get back to Augusta around 6 o'clock. You got time with your girls. You got to do this. You got to do this. Cool, boom, boom. It's 7:38 if I'm not keeping them, which most times I am. But cool, let's say I am keeping them. I bring them to the studio, 8 o'clock, da-da-da. Or I'll take them home, get them bath, da-da-da. I'm doing so much stuff. I got to wake up the next day at 4 in the morning again. That's a regular day. Let's say it's the day I got to record for real. I might come to the studio for peace of mind or to get inspired or to edit or just to work. And now I don't have to come to the studio a lot more. I stay home because I got my laptop and all my stuff. I can just stay home and do. But I still have to spend time doing that because this is my craft. I feel like on your craft, you're going to spend time trying to better yourself. I don't care if it's a clip from a podcast I did a year ago. If I got it in my laptop, in my workspace, I'm gonna watch it and see what else can I clip up. One of the things I like about my podcast and about what I'm doing is it's never just for the moment. If I recorded with you 2 years ago, I might just make a snippet out of nowhere and put it out and put the link out just to get them to go follow you again. It lives on forever. I don't make content for the moment. I make content for the illustration piece. I make content for that masterpiece wall painting I want. Like I want to say MTTM on the top and just have a bunch of things that represent Augusta. If you represent Augusta in 2019, in my eyes, the type of people I pick, you also represent Augusta in 2023. So I said to say I'm doing a lot of these things. So that's a regular day. So can you imagine a busy day? Like a busy day. So like this past week, I'm working 3 stores. I'm opening at Aiken, and I'm at 12. I'm going to the North Augusta store to work over there, and then I'm going back and doing other stuff. And I'm still on these conference calls, and I'm reporting certain things to certain people because of the certain things I have to do. It's a lot to take on, and still got my own stuff I got to deal with. Still got my family, my girls. I still got people that depend on me. So it's a lot that go into that. And then I'm a person that I naturally be engulfed in my work. I don't be playing around. I know it sounds like that on social media. It may seem like I joke a lot. I joke a lot, but I get the work done. Anybody that ever work with me, whether it be in the studio, whether it be creatively, whether it be or in corporate America where I work at, anybody to tell you I go hard. I don't play around. I ain't gonna keep telling these stories, but even editing my own videos and stuff now. So let me tell you, he shot my video. He shot for me. He shoot it for me. I went that night. I bought a editing kit. I stayed in the studio till about 6 in the morning. Learning how to edit. I didn't care, but I'm a worker. I get engulfed in things that I invest my time into. Right? So I got goals too. I got goals, and sometimes it's window of opportunity. If I see something and opportunities reach, I didn't my parents ain't rich. I don't know. I think combined they might have made maybe what I make now. I don't know. Combined, I don't know what my parents had going on. So I want to make sure that I'm not doing the same thing. In the sense of I want to make sure that I'm able, if it's a window of opportunity where I can get to a certain figure to make per year or something like that, I'm gonna take all the chances I got to do that, because it'd be silly of me not to. If that involves me having to not hit people up as much or not be around or not be as available, so be it. But you would think that people would have not even sympathy, but just understanding. You know what I'm saying? I've never not worked in so long. I remember them days. It was horrible. I hated being that available. I text bad now. I probably was the best texter when I was 23 years old, 22 years old, 21. I probably was the best in the world. I had nothing to do. I had nothing going on. I'm probably the worst now because I got a lot going on, and sometimes I gotta play it by whatever. I might have stuff in my hand. I gotta take my phone for hours. Who knows? Sometimes mentally, I don't have the space to really have a conversation with somebody because I might have other things going on. I might be somewhere else mentally. A lot be going on, right? I think a lot of times people too, they like to. It's a selfishness thing a little bit. You don't think about yourself. I can't think of the last time anybody that complained about time, whether it be for me, whether it be family, somebody you're dealing with, or whoever, anybody who ever complained about a friend, about time, when it came to me, very seldom do they ask you first, well, what you got going on? It's never let's figure out why first, and if it's an issue first, or if you got something going on first, or if it's you know, you got a lot on your shoulders first, it's never that. It's always, you know, you acting different, you acting funny. Hey, I hit you up, did you not get my text? Like, whoa, like, relax. Like, maybe I got other things going on. You know, like, especially if it's out of character. If something's out of character, you typically don't like, I work in corporate America, so if somebody just start coming in late for whatever reason, my thing, I ain't gonna beat them up by coming in late. Anybody know management, like, I don't be fucking around, but I ain't gonna beat them up by coming in late. I'm like, you good? Like, what's going on? Everything all right at home? Like, you know, your car messed up? Like, I'm gonna ask you questions to see how you are first, like, what's going on. If my feedback from that is telling me everything's okay, then maybe next time I might step in and say, hey, look, you know, XYZ, you know, make sure everything good because you've been coming in late, It's just common sense to do that. Like, I don't know, like, this whole, I think sometimes people will jump down your throat, really just like, bro, like, it's nothing personal. Like, I'm not, like, purposely saying, fuck it, you know, nah, it's not that. It's just, sometimes you got so much going on. And I tell people this a lot too. And I think I'm going to do more of that this year. Like, sometimes you don't know what somebody going through. Cause like, my job is a lot mental. It's a lot of mental pieces to what I do outside of this podcast thing. And before I get into that, I spoke to a guy today that I'm going to help out tomorrow. He wants to start a podcast. Very successful guy. Very respected guy too. He called and he wants to do something. He asked me, you know, we end up talking. He's like, oh, so you work? And I was like, yeah, you know, I work at XYZ. He's like, well, damn, you know. He didn't even know that. He's like, I thought you just, because you put out so much stuff, I thought you just did that only. Mind you, I'm busy. You know what I'm saying? So that meant a lot to me that he thought that, you know, like, the type of and amount of content I'm putting out, how consistent I am, he thought that I just didn't work, that this was my sole thing I'm doing. And I said to say, you know, that's always my goal as well. My goal is for you to not know that I necessarily work. I want you to think I do all this just alone, just all the time, for that reason, because what I do outside here ain't really, it probably don't matter to y'all. Y'all want the content, so, and I'm cool with that. But him thinking that and seeing that was just dope to me. That's just me though, you know. Either way, I won't get on the tangent because I probably lost where I'm at now. But I said to say, you know, when I'm working, I lost my train of thought now. Damn, I shouldn't have said that story. Sometimes you tell stories in podcasts. That's why I have guests on too. I like to write down stuff because if I tell a story, I lose exactly where I'm at. I lose my train of thought. I lose everything. But I know the camera about to end in a second, so let's stop. Yeah. So back to what I was saying. I lost my train of thought. But it's a lot of mental pieces to what I do as far as this podcast thing goes, right? As far as what I work goes. And a lot of times what I do when I'm at work, mentally, I'm using so much of my mental that it's hard to have a real conversation with somebody because mentally I might not be in a space to receive what you're saying to me the way I need to receive it or the way I would receive it on a regular day. Like if you were just talking and I wasn't busy. So, and I feel like that's unfair to the person that's talking to you, right? Me personally, I feel like that's unfair. It's unfair for me to be talking to you and I'm not mentally there. So I might not pay attention. I might not know how to receive what you're telling me. I might can't give you the right advice because I'm not in a real mental space to have this conversation. So a lot of times I put them conversations on the back burner. All right. Me thinking that that's the smart thing to do, right? Because it's not rude. I think then I can get back to you and I'm not busy. I'm able to receive what you're saying not only better, but in the way you may have needed me to receive it. Then I'm able to speak to you the way I need to speak to you in order for us to have that conversation for it to be meaningful, right? For it to be meaningful. And I think that people don't look at it like that sometimes. They think that you're just ignoring them or they think that, damn, you're that busy. But sometimes, yeah, I'm just that busy, bro. Like, it's only 24 hours. I wish that we could petition to make the days longer. Like, I'm that type of person. I know anybody that's a real entrepreneur, shout out to Reggie Middleton, probably the only one I know. No, I'm playing. But anybody that's a real entrepreneur, or not, and I'm not an entrepreneur. I'm just saying anybody that is one. I don't think I'm one, but you know, I don't know about websites and stuff. But anybody that's a real entrepreneur will tell you sometimes it's not enough hours in a day. Anybody that really got something going on will tell you it ain't enough hours in a day. Somebody that really they really doing things, have the motion, you know, they in these events, they putting out product, putting out content, they working. Anybody gonna tell you it ain't enough hours in a day. 24 hours ain't shit. Like 24 hours ain't nothing. It ain't nothing. It ain't nothing. Like it's really sad, honestly. Like I think we need about 48 hours in a day to really to have a productive day. That's just me personally, But I can't change those things. But 24 hours go like that, man. And that's even if you take sleeping out of it, like you might get 4 hours, 5 hours of sleep. So we're looking at what, 19 hours, something like that, 20 hours. That ain't nothing. You work a job and you got 8 hours, you take the 4 away, now you got 12 hours. Like it's just not enough. It's not enough time, bro. It's not enough time. So, for me, I think that time is something that I personally feel like, everybody don't have. I mean, everybody gotta understand that. And then it don't be the fact that it's not enough time in a day. I think it'd be the fact that I don't have the time that you have. And I think that might be the dynamic that I run into a lot of times with people. Not saying that I just do so much more than the person, or the person don't do enough. That's not what I'm saying. But in relation to said people or said person, whoever that person may be for you or for me or whoever, I might just not have the time that person has. So on a Wednesday, that person may have a bunch of time to just BS or do stuff they doing, or just downtime, right? I may not have a day for downtime. I might not have a time for downtime. I might not have that. So already they up on me in time anyway. So to them, it look like I'm ignoring them, but really to me, I'm trying to do what I can do. I'm trying to shift other things around to see if I got time, like that's with anything, whether it's a conversation, whether it's talking, whether it's meeting up, whether it's going out. I would love to go out every week. I ain't got time to go out every week. I love to take my daughter to the park every single day. I ain't got time to take the park every single day. I can make time. Something gonna have to give, and I will, but I can't do it every day. I ain't got the time for it. And if I can't do it with them, you think I'm about to do it with anybody else? Like, these is my babies, you know what I'm saying? I don't have the time. And everybody ain't got the time, you know what I'm saying? I wish, sometimes I've been thinking like this too, like, damn, I wonder, like, if I wasn't podcasting, how much time could I have to do other things, whether it be fun things, or whether it just be just chilling, just rest. I wonder, like, how much time would I have? But I love doing this so much that it don't feel like work, for one, and you can't beat that. Like, loving something and doing something and not feeling like work, you can't beat. I'm tired right now. Me coming here only because I feel like it's been too long. It's 11 days in. We're 11 days in January. I ain't put no Thinking Out Loud out. I put one episode out. I'm really slacking to start the year off, right? I ain't got no haircut. That's why I'm so far from the camera, because like, I ain't got the goatee going. I look like my age, man. I got a little hair on the side, here. I ain't gonna take my hat off. I ain't even gonna do that and show you. I ain't got no haircut. I look rough, but y'all don't mind looking rough. It don't bother me. Like, I know why I look rough. Shit, I had birthday, Christmas, birthday, just a lot of stuff, man. December is never a good month for me. You know what I'm saying? I was behind on stuff, and yeah, a lot of stuff just is not a good month. So I had to not. This is the thing, like, even to my time, it's really not the money. I didn't have time to get a haircut. I like looking good. You think I want to come on camera and look rough? Hell no. If it was up to me, I have a personal barber. I ain't got the time. I ain't have time to get a haircut. Even today I was off. I didn't have time to get a haircut. Like, I had to do other things because I only had one day off this week. I know I'm speaking to deaf ears. It don't matter. Like, it don't matter. Right? It don't matter. I don't have the time. So I say to say, like, one thing I don't like, and I'm gonna end it here soon, and it's just me getting stuff off. Like, I talk to my mans and people that, we might have fallen out as hand third. You fall out people right now and then, it's cool. But I don't like I feel like sometimes people put not only you on a pedestal, so to speak, but people, like, they'll take so much from you, and you can spoil them a little bit, I think, sometimes too, right? And people take so much from you, and not only do they not give anything, so they taking and not giving, but some of us, our glass is so full, it's okay. Like, we can handle that, right? People will take and not give, but they get so spoiled to the point where they feel like you're supposed to be there for them to take all the time. And even if they got people in their life that they should be able to take from and they can't, that person or those people, they won't have a problem with that, because they've already been conditioned to not be able to fill themselves up from this person or that person or these people or those people, right? They've been conditioned to not be able to lean on that person, lean on those people, lean on the people who also they should be able to take from if they just takers, whatever, right? But the minute they can't take from you, because you've been spoiling them or been conditioned, they've been conditioned to be able to come to you and be able to take and receive and receive and receive. They'll shit on you in a heartbeat. Like they'll be able to cut you off in a heartbeat. Like, well, this motherfucker here been not you ain't been feeling this up from this person for 5 years now. Like 2 weeks for me, and you mad? Like have you ever told this person? Or these people, or that group of friends, or that group of friends, or that group of friends, And I see it way too many times, man. That's tough. That's definitely tough. Tough pill to swallow too. Especially when I go above and beyond for everybody. People go above and beyond for everybody, and it's always the people that go above and beyond for, I think, in the long run, that get shitted on. And I'm not exempt from that, because I think people have went above and beyond for me, and I probably have shitting on them as well. But like, you live and you learn. That's life. I'm not sitting here saying I'm perfect at all, or that people don't have the right to ever be upset with me, or whatever case may be. I've been learning from a lot of things that I've done, or a lot of situations that I put myself through, put myself in, or got myself out of. I've learned from those, so I'm not gonna sit here and act like I ain't been on the other side of it. I'm able to speak from this side because I've been on that side before, so I know what's wrong, what's right. And I've been apologetic to things, and I hate apologizing, but I've been apologetic to certain people for certain things. And it's about growth, it's about growth. But I feel like, people be emotional. Everybody make emotional decisions. This is just thinking out loud. Like, I had no notes. I have no notes in here. Like I said, my goal was to have a fire 50 episode thinking out loud, but not saying this ain't fire, but I really just came here, turn the camera on, and start talking because it's been a minute. And I want to make sure I don't lose it. They say if you don't use it, you lose it. So I'm trying to make sure I keep using everything I got that's fire. I'm trying to use it, everything. But yeah. So I don't know. This year, like I said, I want to expand. I want to do more thinking out loud. So I wanted to be more personal. I want y'all to get more of me. One thing I can say that I haven't told anybody but one person, I think. I spoke to my grandmother the other day for the first time in like. I got a grandma on my dad's side, so my grandma from my pop's side. I spoke to her for the first time in like I don't know, man, maybe about 8 years. I don't know, something like that. We speak, we on social media and stuff like that, but in the sense of us actually speaking on the phone, like, it's been a long time. And I finally spoke to her. I asked about her name. I'll put that clip out soon because I recorded some of it. I asked her about my name and why she spelled it that way and all that stuff. So I thought that was dope. I don't know. Sometimes, like I said, I talk about to take things. Sometimes people don't even allow you the opportunity to be that space. You'll be a space for somebody. You'll be a space for someone or support for someone. And not that you do it for that reason, but a lot of times you'll find that they won't be that for you, though. It's not that you want it. It's not that you feel like it has to be reciprocated. But in your downtime or in your thinking time, and your time you're driving, whatever, you start to think like, damn, like, this month been just pouring into me. Like, man, can I empty my cup, nigga? Can I empty some of my cup? Or whatever, Yeah, this shit is crazy when you think about it, though. It's really wild when you think about it. But yeah, man, this year, I'm trying to do a lot of great things. So let me know what episodes y'all want to see, what episodes y'all think would be dope. I want to do some events. I just shout out to Georgia Soul men's basketball team. Me and Trevor Welcher, we will have a pre-game and post-game show with them. We shot a pilot the other day. I think it went well. I'm not too sure, but it seemed like it went well. We had a good mesh. Shout out to Trevor Welcher. I want to stay doing arts episodes, so let me know any arts people. I got some sports episodes in the work as well. Let me know about that. If you know anybody from another race that you think need to be on a podcast, because I like to talk to other races. I want any topics. Let me know what topic. What does Augusta mean to you? When I ask some kind of question, I don't mean like, do you love it? Do you love the city? Like, what's some things about Augusta you feel like should be illustrated? Like, what kind of relationships? What kind of? And I don't mean girlfriend, boyfriend. I'm just talking about, in a sense of this person being friends with that person type of relationship. Like, what's that dynamic like? Growing up in this kind of environment with these people, but you're this ethnicity. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. I want to know. I want to talk. Excuse me. Damn. I want to talk more about that. So I want to get you 50 minutes. It looks like it's 40. I don't know. It might even be 40 because I had stopped the camera for a minute. But yeah, man, my mindset is just different. Like this year, I want to, and I don't have. It's not. I don't think it's a goal. I don't think it's a New Year's resolution thing. Cause, like I said, I had a good year last year. I want to do the same thing. I want to do the same exact thing and just have better results. But they say you can't do that. So I'm trying to add some things to it to where I don't mess it up and go backwards. So, like I said, I got goals. If I can attain those goals outside of this life, outside of this podcasting life, that'd be amazing. That would be great for me, my family, for just people around me. If I can attain those, that's hard. It's hard in itself to kind of follow and be consistent through. I got goals with the podcast, like because I'm not a full-time. Let me take that back. Because I don't only do this and I do other things, I have to, divvy my time up elsewhere. But if I in a perfect world, if I could, I'll podcast all day, man. You get an episode every day from me. If I could, you get a thing a lot of day from me, a podcast every day from me until I build up. That's how dedicated I am to this thing. Or I will tell people for this year, anybody that's watching this, maybe made this far or not, what I would tell people is if you got a business, anything you're doing that you're champion, you ahead of, you CEO and you pushing, whether it be business, whether it be music, whether it be clothing line, whether it be you do nails, you do hair, I don't care what it is, just go hard, like plan your day out, your downtime, like cut your down. I ain't saying don't have downtime, don't unwind, but give it. It's hard to say you're giving 100% to something when you talk about, I'm just chilling right now. Like the people that are really, really good in some fields, the time they could chill, they used to get better at what they're doing. They used to develop themselves even more than what they developed, because you can never be, you can never be 100% there. You know what I'm saying? You always got room and got space to go a little harder. So that downtime that you think you got, but I'm gonna just chill and watch this show. I'm not saying don't watch TV now. Like, that's another thing. You gotta be good at time management. I'm not saying you can't binge watch no show. I ain't saying you can't go to sleep. I ain't saying you can't go out the state and drive. I ain't saying you can't just sit down and be tired. Nobody ever telling you that. It's just use your time productively. I've seen people say, I'm gonna start doing this, and in 15 minutes into doing it, they on TikTok or they watching YouTube or they just scrolling the timeline, like wasting time. You did 15 minutes and you got bored. Do you really like what you're doing? Do you really want to, do that craft? Are you really serious about wanting to be successful or the best or great in whatever it is that you can't seem to not get distracted from? Do you really want to be good at that? And that's what I think it is for me. It's never about whether somebody's sleeping too much or sleeping in or having fun, laying up. I know we all joke about that, but it's about making use of the time you do have. Like I said, it's only 24 hours in a day. That's not enough. We have established that already. 24 hours is not enough. It probably never will be enough. However, what we can do is make the best of the time you do have. This way, you always feel like you're doing something. That's all. But the whole idea of not watching TV, the idea of I'll sleep when I'm dead. Listen, man, that might be the dumbest thing you can ever hear. If you ever around me and you say that, I'm liable to slap the hell out of you, because when you dead, you dead. There's no sleeping no more. I'm not sure if y'all know, but people dead, they don't be breathing. When you see their hands across their chest or on their stomach, wherever they be at, you don't see it going up and down. It just be like this, because they're not breathing, because they dead. That's not sleeping. Get some sleep or you will be dead. So I would, if you say sleep when I'm dead, that tells me that you're on the path to sleeping forever. Well, then again, it's not sleeping, so I can't say that. Like, that whole idea of I'll sleep when I'm dead is the dumbest thing. I hate that rappers brought that out, because it became a thing of I'm staying up. Trust me, I'm gonna tell you this, man. Speaking of that too, I'm gonna tell you this. just because you don't sleep don't mean you're doing something either. I love my baby to death, man. I love my baby. I promise you I do. My daughter is 6 years old, right? She just turned 6. Sometimes she stays up all night, and when I'm going to work at 4 or 5 in the morning, she'll be like, Daddy, I stayed up all night. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes y'all stay up all night because y'all gonna sleep when you're dead, right? And I can guarantee you, the same amount of stuff she did to stay up all night is the same amount of stuff you did to stay up all night. So when I look and I ask her, well, what'd you do? Oh, nothing, just watch TikTok. I'm probably sure if I ask y'all the same thing, I ain't got no results. Trust me, staying up all night don't mean you did something. It just means you stayed up all night. Now, if you stayed up all night and you worked on something and you finally got the finishing touches on it, you got something to show, that's different. But just because you staying up don't mean you doing nothing. Staying up all night or not sleeping does not equate into putting work in or into doing anything. You just didn't go to sleep. I mean, that's it. Like, I don't know, that's it. You just didn't go to sleep. Joke's on you, really. I don't know. That's like probably one of the dumbest things you can do. Sleep when I'm dead. Fuck wrong with y'all, man. Yeah. So I ain't gonna drag it out. It's a long drawn, man. Shout out to Black Elmo once again, man, for the shirt. Black Elmo Film. Go check his episode out. Dope episode. Hopefully I'll get my mixer back soon. I ain't gonna lie, it's another thing. When I get my mixer back, I think I'm not as confident in recording this with a person because I still haven't gotten it crisp the way I want it yet. It's been fine. It's probably better than the people we listen to, but it's not up to par with me. However, when I get my mixer, I'm gonna buy, like I said, I can't buy everything, man. I had to buy Christmas gifts, birthday gifts, and all that type of stuff. So once I'm able, I think end of this month, I'll be able to at least spend some of my check on me, right? Some of it on me, and I can buy a mixer and all that type of stuff, and I'll go back and to trying to put out episodes more times than not. I'm thinking about going to twice a week. Let me know what you think about that. 2 episodes a week, including the Thinking Out Loud. That'll make 3 a week. I'm thinking about it. I want to collaborate with some artists. With some podcasters in the city. Whether you're great, whether you're bad, whether you're new, whether you're old, I just want to collaborate. I think iron sharpens iron. So whether you think I'm really good or I'm bad or somebody else is really good or really bad, I do think sometimes being in the same vicinity as people who doing the same thing as you, you're able to see things through a different lens. So I might do a lot of things good, but there could be something I'm doing that's not as good, and I might get with another person or I might collaborate with somebody else who's in the same field as me, and they may do something really, really good that I feel like I don't do good, and now I'm able to see how they doing it, and I can, get better at my craft, and vice versa. I might do some things really, really bad, and they might see that like, I don't like that, I'm gonna change something, and that's fine, but iron sharpens iron, so I do want to get with some collaborators if possible. So any podcasters in the city that I might not know of, tag them, you know what I'm saying? I'm willing to work with anybody. I don't really care, as long as you got your heart in it, we good to go. And yeah, man, so yeah, man, another Thinking Out Loud, man. I'm 50, I was thinking this episode, wasn't I? I don't know, and I think I want to do some clips, but clips be hard to do sometimes because sometimes a clip only going to tell you a little bit, and a clip always look like a shot at somebody. I feel like clips always look like I'm shooting at off the hip at this group or that group or that group. But really, I'm thinking out loud, and if you ever watched it in its entirety, there's no real rhyme or reason. I just start talking, and I go into this topic to this topic. Like, I literally have no notes. My phone is going off, but it ain't nothing, It's another thing. I'm saying your phone be going off, right? Right now, it's 9:13. Your phone will be going off, and somebody feel like you ain't got time, but I've been talking for an hour, almost an hour. I had to set up. The damn light broke. I had to unscrew it, put the pole in, screw it back. A lot of stuff going on, man. And this stuff, I ain't got time to explain to nobody. Like, that's another thing about me. I don't really explain it, man. I hate explaining. I think that's why for the most part, like, I've always liked to, not saying be alone, not be with nobody, because I love women, but I like to do my own thing because I don't like answering nobody. Like, I don't feel like, and that's probably the reason why I am the way I am in life. Like, I don't like to answer nobody. I don't like to have to tell somebody when I'm coming or going, and I don't like explaining that to nobody. Like, if I'm busy, I want to be able to say, I've been busy, what's going on? And without somebody saying, oh, what you was doing? Because I don't know why automatically I start feeling offended. I start feeling like I'm getting attacked because I'm a grown-ass man. What do you mean what I was doing? I said I was busy. That's it. Like, and that's just me. And I don't know if anybody got that same kind of persona, but I don't like to answer nobody. I don't like to talk about my whereabouts. I don't like to tell nobody what I'm gonna be doing. I don't have to give time on something like, oh, I'll be done by 9. If I say that, that's different. But if somebody asks me, oh, what time you think you'll be done? I feel offended. Like, what you mean with time? Whenever I get done, I'm grown. That's just me though. It's just me. I'm not saying that everybody should feel the same way. I personally just don't like that. I hate that, and I don't think I'm ever gonna be able to get accustomed to that. It's gonna take a long time for me to ever get accustomed to talking about where I'm going, my whereabouts is at. Especially if I pay my bills. Now, if somebody paid my bills for me, I had a sugar mama, I ain't gonna lie. I'd probably be okay with saying, hey, you know, I was here, you know, I got $10. Yeah, you paying my bills, cool, but I can't remember last time somebody paid my bills for me. It's been a long, long time since then, so yeah, man. Another Thinking Out Loud, Morning Masters podcast be out. One thing I will say, man, hit me up. If you got my number, hit me up. If you got my, you know, any social, let me know what you think about the episode. Let me know what you think about anything I said, any topics you want me to address. If you got a question you want me to answer, always send them to me. I'm willing to answer any question Thinking Out Loud wise, all the time. I'm only gonna start answering questions on my Thinking Out Loud. So if you send me a question in my DM or messages, whatever the case may be, and I don't respond, it's not that I'm not responding to you. I'm gonna start answering people in my content, because that'll, one, get you to watch it, and two, it creates dialogue for other people, and other people might have them same question but scared to ask. And I'm here to grow, teach, and develop people, you know, as well as I'm here to get taught, developed, and have growth. So that's it, man. One of my podcasts be out.